Good morning. This is going to be me just talking about something that's on my mind for this channel, Gray Cloud's Thoughts. Um, so, thanks for being here. I'm Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. But there was a comment made on a short that I shared yesterday. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. It was a short. I don't know if you saw it, but it had the sun, and I titled it "The Sun Doesn't Shine Without the Sun." SUN and then SON. Anyway, I don't want to. The comment wasn't negative, but to come in and be like, the sun can shine without the sun because the sun, SON, didn't create it. It was GOD that created it, not the sun, SON. And anyway, it got me to thinking: why does everybody have to always think that they have the complete rights to whatever it is that is divine, that they have the patent on it? Why do people have to come in and, like, everybody in the world is always trying to prove that they're right and that everybody else is wrong? I've never come, like, with my main channel. If you don't know, if you're only subscribed to this channel and you don't know, I have actually a main channel that's growing, close to 1,000 subscribers. But this channel here, I'm wanting to hone in on specific things, and going into 2025, I'll also be discussing stuff that's not just like spiritual and everything. I'll be discussing on Gray Cloud's Thoughts here. I hope to get into giving some overviews over comic books or certain books I've read, or maybe a movie I watched. I want to get into a few things like that, or even discussing certain topics in the news that I don't really dwell on or talk about a whole lot, or even discuss on the Great Cloudy Day. That's the main channel. But back to my point being is, I mean, I'm not saying that they're wrong, and I'm not saying that I'm right, but I found that it seems that when it comes to like spiritual stuff, especially in the Christian quote so-called Christian world, so many Christians spend so much time trying to prove each other wrong. I don't get it. Which I think that probably goes on in many different, like, I'd say there's probably some of that in Muslims. I don't know, in the Muslim religion, because I know there's different sects, or it's different sects of in pockets, like some that are, of course, very extreme and think everybody should die that ain't part of that religion. Then you got some that are more moderate that don't adhere to that part. I don't know, but I've never understood why people can't, when it comes to stuff like that, the big kahuna, aka God, whatever it is, I know what guides me, and I know what I feel, and I know, like yesterday I was taking a walk and I was like, how can I prove to anybody what I know to be real based on experiencing it? I can't. Like, I don't think anyone can put into words. There's no amount of words we can use to make it come across to anyone that if they've never experienced anything supernatural outside of, well, like when it comes to the divine, the creator, if they have not had a personal experience where they could go without a question, like without any question, whoa, something is there. Now, whether you call it he or she or whatever, that's not up for me to tell you, whatever. But I'm just wanting to elaborate that for me and my channels, I'm just trying to share some positivity, if as much as possible, trying to inspire people. If you know, not that anybody really cares what I'm doing or saying half the time, But there are some of you on the other channel that are here also on this channel, and there's a couple of new people to this channel that I don't think are subscribed to my main channel, and I appreciate it. Now I probably won't be doing a whole lot uh, of commentary on certain things until I get the channel built up a little bit. Like going into 2025, as we gain subscribers, then I'm going to be exploring the different topics that I want to try to, just depending on what's going on that maybe I find interesting and stuff. For instance, I know this is off of the topic of like, why do people always feel like they have to be right about everything? For me, it's kind of like the whole flat earth or circle or globe. I don't care. I could care less if the earth is flat or if it's a globe. It doesn't matter to me. You get what I'm saying? Like some things are irrelevant in your life. Like it's not going to make any difference if you're living your life and you're doing the best you can and you're working on stuff to be, to better yourself and hopefully better the world. Does it matter if it spins or if it's like this? I don't think it does. You get what I'm saying? I know what I believe, but I just don't get into base like that. That don't make sense. Now, I know there's somebody that watches this channel that if he sees this, he's probably going to chime in and say something because he likes to, he likes to question and debate stuff. And that's fine. When people want to debate it and talk about it, that's fine. But I just refuse to talk about certain things like that. Like, it doesn't matter to me. And when it comes to God type stuff, a lot of times, as long as you, if like, it doesn't matter to me if you have any understanding of God, but if you do, that's a plus, Like if you have some sort of understanding, or whether it be because of your upbringing or just an experience, but especially if you've experienced it, not just because you were taught it, then that's a plus. You know what I mean? Like, but to each their own. Like I've got friends that are atheists. I've known people that were agnostic. I've known people that were into, but that didn't keep me from having general conversations with somebody. It didn't, I've never once wanted to have to try to prove anybody wrong on what they believe. Because you're talking about something that you can't actually prove to anybody else other than yourself. You can experience it, and then when you know it to be true for yourself, walk with it. So I think that's where a lot of churches mess up when it comes to that kind of stuff, like pushing so hard to tell everybody where they're wrong. Even people that are already onto something and believing in something, but to still constantly try to correct them. Sometimes trial and error is the best lessons, the way to learn. Live a little, mess up a little, try to learn from the mess ups. I don't always learn from all my mess ups, but I'm trying to do the best I can. And don't worry, that's just vinegar and water with a little bit of sweetener in it. Not that you were worried, but I'm going to end it there. I think that you get my point. It's kind of like when people want to debate creation or evolution. I could care less on. I know that there was something. I know there is something, and it is divine, and it guides me. So how creation came into existence doesn't matter to me as much as that I am here right now. I'm in this world where I'm at, or at least I think I am. Did you know you really can't prove your own existence? I remember reading that before. Like the whole idea of I think, therefore I am, that doesn't prove any existence of anything. It just means that you're thinking about something. Just because, you know what I'm saying? It's all an illusion anyway. You might think I'm crazy, and I've babbled on and on. I'm going to get off here, upload this. Now, if you don't subscribe to Great Cloudy Day, I'm going live over there on Great Cloudy Day, probably around 11:15 Central. I got it scheduled. I hope y'all have a good day. Until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.